Most of the policemen in the staff departments are generalists. Only CID, SOC, the Special Ops Command, all these are specialists. Technology is regarded as half serialized, so we are not specialists. Okay, I quickly run through because I only got 20 minutes. So this is the organization chart. First the org chart, then we have the key policing structures program. So NPC, I mentioned earlier, this Neighborhood Police Center, partnership with residents through the CSSP, with the business community as well, technologies, that's where from, and also the policing outcomes they want to achieve. Okay, this is all chart. You can see there's a commissioner on the top. We have 2 deputy commissioners by right, and the lines are the airport police. We have 6 land divisions led by a commander, deputy commander, and we have the staff. For me, you see we may not see it. I think this is the ops department, planning department, technology, logistics, and all this. Okay, this is a single map. These are the 6 land divisions: Ang Mo Kio, Jurong, Clementi, Tanglin, Central, Bedok. We have a population about 5.18 million. Population is in 3.2 Singaporeans. Now this is the functions of land divisions: maintain law and order, provide police services, investigate crimes, and promote strong community relations. This is first is guided by the law, second guided by the vision, mission, and our strategies. Our structure of land division, we got 6 land division. They have under them the NPC, Neighborhood Police Center, then the NPP. So one of NPC is co-located with the police division headquarters, with the land division. The rest are on their own with the community club. Some of them NPC on their own by itself. So we try to leverage on the infrastructures the public have, save money, right? So we don't want to build everything on its own. So if we can, we do it in the police division, we can do it in the community club, through the people association. Now these are the NPCs. Currently have 3 NPCs, 65 NPPs. Now each NPCs, it ranges, is about 100 or 140. Some NPCs are bigger, some NPCs are smaller. The NPC has NPP, so some got 2, some got 6. So the population varies across each NPC. Now community policing history. Okay, so without 999, what happened? After 1983, then before 1983, then 1983 we have the working in the community. Then we have the focus for policing. Okay, working with children. Okay, then later on realized that in 1983 we worked, the MPP came about, and that's work with the community, the Japanese command system, more services. So people are willing to come forward for information. Then of course 1998, that's where working with and through the community, the NPC come about. Then working in with through the communities. Okay, more than one community now. So across all. Then you see we are all quite integrated because Singapore is not very big. So one community or one land division can work with the other land division. Okay, so crimes interplay of multiple factors, stakeholders, engage self-help, prevention, span and cure. So the NPC fully implemented in 2001. It was started in 1998. So it took about 3 years, sorry. So put NPC for all workers working through and communities a wide range of policing issues. Now this is the NPC structure. We have a CEO, commanding officer. Over the years, this post used to be ASP, Assistant Superintendent, then DSP, now we have Superintendent doing a CEO. Okay, so we have the AO, called the Admin Officer. It's normally a junior officer, right? We have the Community Liaison Preparedness Team Leader, Ops Officer. They have the 4 team leaders. Then the services that we provide is integrated operational units, fast response, counter service, on-scene investigation. Now on-scene investigation, the whole concept of NPC when it first started was to do some general investigation. But there are gaps because sometimes we can't follow through. And some of the general investigation become more complicated, involve across division. So one-stop service, maximize service, minimize inconvenience. When you talk about that, you can go to any of the police station or NPC or MPP to lodge a report, and you can tell them which division you want. All systems are built, technology has been built, integrated. You can go anywhere in the police center. You know your case is looked after by certain police. We know where you lodge a report. We know who you are. We have a whole record. You have address, everything inside. It's all integrated with the immigration, with the registration system. Okay, so the responsibility of the CEO for local police outcome. Now it's very competitive. From the HR perspective, there are 33 CEOs that are competing for promotion. Okay, they've got to work hard, they've got to come up with a lot of initiatives with the community on their own. Each time the technology will come in to do pilot trial project, whether they put a new camera, MMS, or some CCTV or anything, or any camera systems, anything that they come up with, they must be creative and innovative to score. Okay, then we have the engage and mobilize partners. Now in Singapore we have the People Association. They are the grassroots leaders. Okay, the CCC, the RC, and police reps are there in some of the RCs to share the crime prevention messages. Now these are the partners. We have the CSSP I mentioned before, the people, the community involvement, the private watch group. So inter-ministry framework is the same thing. We work all ministry. There's noise pollution, everybody call us because after office hour, the NEA call center is closed, they'll call us. But like Hong Kong, we are revisiting the mission because some of them are not on call. Resources are scarce, so we shouldn't be doing certain things. Okay, so it's a very complicated because we have about 70 agencies in the whole civil service and public service, so you got to work with a lot of them to make sure the best result. Sometimes the words are not very clear, it's all in very grey area, and that's where we need to sit down to inter-agencies discussion. Grassroots leaders, residents, schools, government, solve social concern, even traffic, crimes, housebreaking, right? Co-op the right agency, signal performance, solution, documentation, implementation. These are all framework, okay? You guys can think about it. Okay? Address the root cause. Sometimes some of these are like triple S, WITS project. I'm not too sure. There's some suggestion scheme whereby you have WITS work improvement teams, suggestion, then you sit around. We adopt the same format with the community to identify the cause, work on the solution. Okay, so some of these successes, grassroots police, ASIs and use of police, okay, alert police and see suspicious character. So there are 600 citizens on patrol I mentioned to you, right? But it's not supposed to be a dangerous job for them. They are citizens after all. So there is a certain boundary whereby they do the patrol. So there are 49 town council conservancy foremen who are appointed as torch leaders, okay, on watch. Elderly in your estate, so there are 109 student leaders appointed as eyes. Role models in foreign communities and dormitories, facilitated between local communities, all that. Roles, talk, crime prevention, I think you guys have it. Share information is not something new. Technology, this is my area. We have used a lot of handphone. We use handphone, MMS to send picture of scene of crime or some pictures that is described. Online, now IMEI is something, you lose a phone, we registered your phone to this police database, and we'll probably check if your phone in question was stolen, right? Amplified the impact of community in creating empowered members of public to deter crime. Private sector, okay, so these are some of the things. Fight terrorism, over 2001 since terrorism became a big word over the last many years. SSWG, Security Watch Group with the business, these are all the companies, hotels as well. In fact, we're putting a lot of CCTVs, hotels, we need to step on their cameras in hotel CCTVs for safety concern. So a lot of hotels have said yes. Now this is the CMC. CMT run by CMT run by Ministry of Law. I think there are 4 mediation centers. Okay, so experts from different address issues. Now back to juvenile. 1-2 years ago, there was some stepping by the youth, very young, 18 years old, 22 years old, young people. They're the one, they call themselves secret society, but actually they are not. So a lot of young groups surface last 1-2 years, and it created quite a big scene because CID and our intelligence went around to gather all these people. There was 100 old people, they have gathering, 100 old people gathering, there's an illegal assembly and all that. So it was quite pronounced a problem. Actually, we knew that there is this problem, but we did not, of course, obviously we did not stop when the thing happened. So, so the youth crime came about because of all this affiliation, peer pressure. We want to be affiliated to the same group of people, same age. There's 17, 16, 17, 21, 22. And of course, there are some older ones who's leading this group. So there are a number of groups, a lot of fights, and some death. So last 1-2 years, there was quite pronounced, this problem. So these are the area for youth crime, gangs. Okay. Now improving crime situation, we have this. We went down in 02, quite stabilized in 10. Okay. Today announced is that for every 100,000 population year, we have about 650 crime, down from 974. So there is a trend going down. Okay. So we go by per population. Number of crimes per year per population from 974 to 650. Yes, this is an important part. Many years ago, we already started on this public assistance. This is one of the proxy indicators of doing well with the community. How the community come to us to support with our ears and eyes. Okay, so it's one of the proxy indicators. It may not be direct. Okay, it could be they have been doing that even before the community policing comes about, right? But with this, it helps. Now, youth definition. These are all from the law that we have. Now, we talk about juvenile, we talk about 7 to 50. We have young people 16 to 19. So we have youth population less than 20% of the national population. So when I say youth, we talk about juvenile, young people. Now, youth arrests overrepresented. Proportion of youth arrested continue to be higher than the youth population proportion. Okay. So, efforts to address the youth at risk and offending crucial so as to prevent our youth from becoming. So I mentioned 1 to 2 years ago, we started with all these gangs. It's quite worrying when we saw the newspaper, even for police officer. Somebody got stabbed in public, in shopping mall. 10 over people chasing after a couple of them, all youth, and stabbed, you know, and kick and punch. It was quite a gruesome thing. And over that, for the next few days, revenge, you know. So the other group will start attacking some of them, and on and on. It lasted for a couple of weeks, I think. So the CID full force, the police intelligence full force, it was an issue we need to resolve. I mean, Singapore is not, we might say, and that one is something where I saw. So three top crime for this youth is the short theft, rioting. Okay.
What's what?
Rioting.
What's wrong?
Rioting means gang and gang fight.
Gang fight?
Yes, more than 5 people normally. Okay. Yeah, we consider rioting 5 and above because illegal assembly, right? Yes, 5 and above. Okay, we classified that. Okay, 5 and above. So it's quite serious. Remember, I said 10 over chased another few people, and after the next 2 days, revenge, I stabbed somebody as well. And it was big publicity because the parents cry and say he's a good child, he's from Polytechnic, you know. Sorry. Okay, thumbs up. Okay, finishing. Okay, so this is the parents who hang out late, age restriction on certain entertainment outlets, billiards, saloon, land games. Land games was very popular in Singapore for many years. Crime watch, school program, prevention, prison visit, bring them to prison so that they're scared. Okay, and we bring them to the screening center. Okay.